Okay, welcome to Sit on Your Hands podcast. I'm Kev Martin, your host. Join us as we dive into the psychology of trading and finance. So I'm a certified performance coach, trained at the Coactive Institute in New York City. I'm also accredited with the International Coaching Federation, and I've created something called the M3 method, which is a science-based way to kickstart your day. Okay, so I work with professional traders. So if you're into this kind of content, hit the subscribe button now, smash the like button, and of course, join us in our Discord. So today's guest is an interesting one. His name is Jordan Diaz. Jordan has had over $25,000, I think, in payouts from prop firms, and he's running slightly behind, slightly behind. So if there's any questions you have in the meanwhile, or how's everyone's week been going, it'd be great to know. So Colin, feeling good to be here. How are you, Colin, mate? Usual to the channel, you know. Who else we got? Brett. Brett, good to see you, mate. We had a little chat a few days ago. Hope you've had a good week so far. So tell me, is any questions? How's everyone's week been going? Oh my God, it's Tuesday. It feels like Thursday for some reason. Yeah, like I've had a good week. I think I shared with you all last week. I blew phase 2 of a prop firm challenge. I'm happy to say I'm up 5% on the second challenge, which is going really well. And it's been great. And I have to say, Faisal, I hope I've said that right. Hello, mate. How are you? Hope you're doing good. You know, and look, guys, honestly, please, I just wanted to say a couple of things. So we've hit over 5,000 subs, which is absolutely amazing. So, you know, this is Tom and the team. So Tom and the famous elusive editor have built this channel, and they've built it for traders to have a place to go, a community to trust, and a place you can just, you know, share ideas and help each other out. This is not about your, you know, how many trades you've won and lost. We're not interested in that. What we're interested in is building a community for traders. Okay. So if you have any questions, please share it. Please ask them. Our guest is slightly late. He's walking his dog. He got the times mixed up. I think he's you know, he's in, I think it's Miami. So we'll soon see how he is today. So trading, mate. Colin, great question, and thank you. I've had a good week, and I'll tell you why, right? And last week wasn't a bad week, right? It was trading, and trading does that, and it was okay. And the guys I work with, so I'm a performance coach and I work with traders, and I was talking to them after our session, and I was talking to them about, look, I'm not sure what I was doing. It was crazy. You know, like, how can I go from phase 1 to phase 2 and just randomly start doing things? But for me, the prop firm challenges really play with your mind, right? And they did with mine. And I started to just do silly things. So I was talking to Tom privately, and one of the things I have shifted to, so I used to do the 15-minute charts down to the 5-minute, and it was just too much noise. So this week I switched over to the 1 hour, and that was absolutely fantastic. So yeah, so thanks, Brett. Brett is a lovely, lovely guy. Nice change. 5% sounds good. Okay, so I think Jordan is ready. Let's see. Jordan, you there?
How's it going, Kev?
There he is, the main man. How are you, mate?
Good, brother. Good.
Okay, so look, so you're live. Welcome to Simply Forex. This is our channel. Like I said, it's hosted by generally by a professional trader called Tom, based in Dubai. And there's also a shady character in the background called the editor, who also supports with Tom. But listen, really happy to have you on. How are you? Are you based in Miami?
Yes, I am. Pleasure to have me on, man. Yeah, so I'm based in Miami right now. Don't plan on moving just yet, but if I do, I don't think it's gonna be anywhere exotic. That's for sure.
Yeah, no, all good. And like I was saying, so the dog's okay, yeah. So
yeah. The groomer just came here, so I'm like, perfect timing. So
no, that's okay. Yeah. That's apologies. Like I was
saying,
it's
okay. It's okay.
We've got the times mixed up. So I was just saying, and please, before I hand over to you in terms of a bit about you, so prop firm trader. I've had over $25,000, I believe, in payouts, and quite successful for sure. So just tell everyone a bit about yourself, if that's okay.
Thank you, Kev. So my name is Jordan. Been trading for the past 4 years now. The first 2 years it was primarily trading stocks and option trading. So it was a little difficult when I made the transition from stocks and option to forex. It's like a whole new learning curve as well.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like you're kind of in the same boat because it's kind of the same feel to it. It's still the same emotions, still the same psychology behind it. You still got to execute. You got to know when to execute, kind of the same system. I decided to start trading Forex around 2022, give or take. Like, I think it was 2021, ending of 2021 to 2022. And then I just bought a lot of courses, bought a lot of time. In reality, I just tried to like just study on a crunch with a full-time job and school and stuff like that. And then I got to the point where trading did take me to another level where I was able to become a coach in other platforms and stuff like that. And so I created my own platform. And then from there, I was able to just become a coach for many of the students I have now. When I started with My Flash Funding, I remember they had just opened up. And I think one of the beauty about it is that they had a 6% target profit. And it's just amazing because I remember and I had over $400,000 with them in virtual capital. And one of the beauty about it is that I remember passing these funded accounts within like weeks, we're talking about like first and second phase and getting live within the week, so that's kind of nice to know,
Yeah, that's interesting. And of course, we'll get into that because I'm sure lots of people want to know some of the secrets of, the things you've been doing. So I know. So Blake introduced me to Jordan. So Blake was on our show. He's the second guest on, and I was really grateful when he introduced us. And I had a look at one or two. I think there's like maybe two videos online about some of the old sort of work you did with a different company.
Okay.
And I know you sort of shifted away from them.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, cool. All right. So look, we're gonna jump into some of these, and I hope you're ready, man. And again, guys, if you have any questions, so I can see Brett's got one already. Actually, let's answer one of those questions for Brett. Brett's one of our mods in the main room. Okay. Yeah, he's a lovely guy. So he's just asking Jordan, what type of strategy do you trade, and what time frames? Of course, we'll get into some of this more. But are you okay to share some of that?
Yeah, we can share it. So just to kind of summarize it right now, real quick. I trade a 100-point strategy. So I primarily trade indices. If you want to trade Forex, you could do the 100 pips. When it comes to indices, I don't like to call it pips for the simple fact that, 100 points is equivalent to 10,000 pips. We don't want that. I don't want people to be like, wow, that's so many pips. Like, no, we don't do that. 100 points is just 100 points, It's like the standard on US 30 and stuff like that. But I primarily trade a 100-point strategy, depending on the fib levels that I'm looking at, depending in which direction the trend is going. So it could always just shift on you and stuff like that. But I just primarily find the setup within the day for 100 points. I like to only risk from 1% to 2% per trade. And I would like to go, if I risk a 2%, I try to go for a 3%. If I risk a 1%, I try to go from a 1 to 2% in profit. So either a 1-1 or a 1 to 2 risk to reward. And then when it comes to the time frames, I don't like to stick to one. The way I do it is I like to just see the higher time frames to see the direction of it, and then within the smaller time frames, you can find the setup. Obviously, if you guys are not had the experience with a 1-minute candle, don't go on it. If you're very anxious, don't go on it. It's all very depending on the type of person you are, is the type of candlesticks you could go on.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I was sharing with the guys. I've done a few challenges. So I work with a few professional traders as a coach. I'm a performance coach. And last week, mate, I was in phase 2. All I had to hit was 5% and I blew the account. I just went off, started doing things I shouldn't be doing. So it's interesting to hear you've done it within. So just quickly on that, did you ever have that where you did a prop firm challenge and you got far and then sort of blew the account?
I've actually had it various times, even with My Flash Funding. I've had it where I got lucky, not lucky. So when it came to my flash funding, all the accounts that I had a total of 3 accounts worth
Okay.
400,000. I had a payout from each account plus the refund back. So right there was already free game. The problem is that when your mindset shifts to that where it's free game, you want to risk a little more, right? That's
Yeah.
what everyone kind of tries to do. I
Yeah.
want to risk more. I want to risk more, and that's it. I did have those shifts. I was with a prop firm where I had around $40,000 and a payout pending,
Wow.
and I actually lost to do the daily drawdown, not even
Oh,
overall
wow.
drawdown. So it happens, right? So you
Yeah.
can kind of like the thing about prop firms is that it's very tricky when you're able to see yourself making the virtual target profit within the day, you know.
Yeah.
And I think it's really tricky as well with my flash funding. I love them. They're one of the best prop firms I've been with right now. They really take care of you, and customer service is amazing. But one of the trickiest thing is that you can make $6,000 within the day. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
you don't want to risk it. But I think something that I can always pass down to people is just be patient with it. There's no reason for you guys to try to make this overnight success right now when you guys
Yeah.
can just make like your 1%, 2%, and literally lead up to it. So it's like I currently have two 100Ks with them right now, that we're working on them again at 4% each. So it's
Okay.
like, one's on phase 2 and one's on phase 3, on phase 1. So it's like
Okay.
it's right there in that, neck and neck. But yeah,
Okay.
so it's just slow and steady wins the race.
Yeah. No, I get it. And do you, this is just a selfish question, do you link the accounts with, or do you trade them individually?
I do not. I trade them individually. So I will go from one account to the other. So the way I used to do it when I had the 3 accounts was I would put one in 10% profit, and then I wouldn't trade it, wait for the payout, and then go to the next account. Because back in the day, my flash funding, you had to wait a whole month, right?
Right.
When it happens, now it's bi-weekly. But even then, even if it happened to me now, I would do the same strategy, where I would just have it at a
Okay.
5 to 10% in profit and trade the other account. The
Okay.
200K would be at a 5%, which is only 10,000. So like
Yeah.
that, I just kept building it and building it like that.
Okay. Okay, cool. No, good, good. I see there's a couple of questions jumping in. So I'm doing it slightly different this week.
Right.
So Sinex, I hope I've said that right, Sinex. In what stage of a trader's career should prop firm challenges be introduced? This is a good question.
So I believe it's not about it being a prop challenge or it being your live account. It's more about you guys learning the actual strategy and the skill set to be able to trade. If you guys still haven't understood the type of trader you are or how you trade as a regular day-to-day person, I can't really tell you which is the best time to go into a prop firm, because I've seen people, you could flip $100 to 100,000, or you could get a prop firm, pass the challenge, and build your capital. So ideally, it all depends on the skill set you have, because if you have the skill set, you can pass the challenge, get more capital, right? Like 25,000 that I got within the week. Sorry for that.
That's
Within the
right.
week, and then you could go from there.
Okay.
So it's really subjective to the skill set you have. If you have the skill set, you can get into both of them around the same time. So it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, and that's a good point. I know a few traders who started trading, when I say a year ago, they were investing in stocks and things like that, and then shifted into actually day trading, and they've done extremely well. And I know guys who've been trading, 3-4 years and still trying to find their rhythm. So it does depend on, the person and how quickly they pick up things, or like you said, adapting to different strategies and so on. So look, for example, me last week, right? Lots of traders struggle with discipline and definitely managing their emotions. Over the years of you doing this, have you sort of seen any sort of strategies or techniques that you found, effective maintaining that sort of discipline?
So when it comes to discipline, it's all within the person, right? You could show up to the market every day, but if you're not disciplined with your own trading rules, you can't continue to have the disciplinacy and consistency within your trading, right? There's really no trick to it. I show up every day. I have a good support team around me. I have a good team that I built, and it's a lot of good friends of mine as well. They're all within together. We trade every morning together. We kind of keep each other accountable. Okay. Yeah, so we keep each other accountable. We make sure that we all show up. We it got to a point where we know each other so well that we know when we're talking a certain way, we know that we're doing something we're not supposed to, So, but when it comes to like keeping the discipline and consistency, it's like you guys can do various things. You guys can go to the gym Once you guys break the 21-day habit, you guys know that you guys are going to consistently be going, right? That also helps with your trading. Anything you guys do in your life will actually benefit you while you're trading. The funny thing is trading will show you the type of person you are, right? Before you figure it out, So you're going to go through it back and forth, but you're going to realize that what you do in your day-to-day basis is what's going to also help you with the discipline and consistency within your trading strategy,
Yeah, that's great advice, mate. That's great advice. And I think there's no set rule for everyone.
Right.
The key thing I found is over the years. So, I started investing in crypto in 2019, made a lot of money, lost a lot of money, didn't take enough off the table. Started trading Forex in 2020 and only really been doing it properly a year. But so my main work is coaching and working with high performers. And I've just been fascinated with the charts and the whole experience of trading. Let me have a quick look, John. Okay, cool. So we've got Brett. Quick question from Brett: how long have you been trading? Well, I think you answered.
Yeah. We'll go over. I've been trading for the past 4 years now.
Wow.
I started off with stocks. I started off with penny stocks, and I was just buying long-term stocks, selling and closing during the whole volatility. Yeah, you know how it is. Those penny stocks were amazing in 2020. Like if you had like Val Offshores and stuff like that, drilling companies, it was amazing. And then I went to option trading. When I went into option trading, I got into a lot of the tech side of things. That's what was actually popping back in the day. So you had like Tesla. I was buying stocks in Teslas. I was doing Netflix. I was doing I believe I was doing Neo. I believe
Neo. I did Neo.
Yeah, all those little hypes that were there. And they were pretty good. Then I got into crypto. When I did get into crypto, same thing. A lot of money made, but then a lot of money also left on the table.
Yeah.
I was part of the 14 cents on XRP, and when I went up to $1.38, I was able to sell a good amount, and then I didn't sell everything, thinking I was going to continue, and then it came right back down. But there's a lot of things, Bitcoin as well, and then I got into Forex. When I got into Forex, I had to really learn everything, because what you thought you knew from trading stocks and options and stuff like that has nothing to do with Forex. Right? There's a lot of things you got to learn, like leveraging. There's a lot of things you got to learn, like the structures of market patterns and stuff like that. They're not the same when it comes to stocks. There's a lot more gaps on stocks than there is in actual Forex markets.
Yeah.
Understanding the pair. The good thing is I stuck with indices. Stuck with the same thing I knew.
Okay, no, that's good. Another question from Brett. I'm loving the questions, Brett. So guys, if you have any other questions, please drop them in. There's a few more things I want to find out from Jordan. I'm so excited he's here. He could be trading the indices right now, but he's with us. So please get your questions in. He's probably looking at the charts now as he's talking there. So
I have it open. I have it open on the right, but we're good.
I can see your eyes moving, mate. You're like, let me look.
No, I'm good. We're good. I have it on the right side right now. But we don't start either way. I'm really disciplined when it comes to trading. I don't make a trade until like 10 o'clock. I really let the market set up for us and stuff like that. I think that's one of the biggest things you guys can do with trading is having the patience. Brett asked, what's the best and worst trade? Brett, to be honest, I can give you like what the worst trade is within the day, but it's not really about what's the worst day within the trade, right? I mean, I had a whole funded account with $40,000 in payouts, and because of a daily drawdown, I lost it, right? So that could be one of the worst moments. It's very humbling. It's very eye-opening. Like if you see that much profits, just wait, guys. I've heard it various times now, even after that. So this was last year when this happened, and it really hasn't happened now. I've tried to get every payout now. Whenever you guys see you guys are up like a good 10%, 5 to 10% within your account on a prop firm, and you guys just need to wait for the payout, just wait for the payout. Go buy yourself another funded account if you guys can.
Yeah.
And just trade the other funded account, work on another one while you're waiting for the payout. It's what I did. I feel like that's when the psychology really kicks in, right? When they make you wait that long, right? And in reality, it's not their fault.
No.
They're giving you the money. So it's like the best trade I've had also, again, I've had some pretty good, decent days. I think that the most I've made within a day is 13,000. Within certain prop firms.
And
it's put me in profit and stuff like that various times. I think that would probably be the most, and the worst I've had is a $7,000 loss. And of course, that's invalidating all my rules when it's 7,000.
Okay. Listen, there's questions are flying in. So Jordan, again, man, I just wanted to say, appreciate your time today.
Of
It's
course, man. Of
been,
course, Kev.
it's been great having you on. And okay, so Samir Khalil, is it possible learning only on YouTube? What would you recommend as a professional trader?
So, as a professional trader,
I guess they mean you as a
oh,
professional
okay,
trader.
me, yeah, I guess that's what they meant. I'm not a professional trader yet, guys, but yeah, definitely. I think you could learn from YouTube. There's a lot of good content out there. If you guys want to. But one of the things I'm gonna tell you guys is like, how serious are you guys about trading? Like, do you guys want to really invest in your trading or not? You guys can go get some good courses from really good traders. I know that there's a lot of people that just buy a whole bunch of courses and stuff like that. You could be one of those people, but as long as you have the content to be able to learn, yes.
Yeah.
When it comes to YouTube, you can learn from it. There's a lot of people that are live trading on YouTube. There's a lot of people that are posting. I know, for instance, Wolf of Profits, which is the company I own. We post like our breakdowns within lives, and we'll show you guys how like candlestick structures and stuff like that, or even the same strategy during on our YouTube channel. But when it comes to learning from YouTube, yes, you can. When I first started learning Forex, I learned from a guy called The Moving Average. He's really good.
I know him. Yeah.
You know who it is? Yeah. So
Yeah.
Artie's really
Yeah.
humble. He's really, really nice, very, very forward with you, and it's not long videos where you get bored, right? So you could definitely learn from it, but eventually you're going to have to get a course or you're going to have to get a mentor.
Yeah.
You're gonna need it for the simple fact that it's a journey that becomes very, very hard to learn.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay, that's good. Samir, I hope that helps. Another one from Faisal. I hope I'm not butchering these names. I'm sorry. Which time frame is your favorite? I know you said you trade many, but is there a particular time frame you prefer?
When it comes to trading, one of the time frames I love to see on US 30 would be the 30-minute. The 30 minutes, one of my favorite ones, is to see the candlestick patterns. When you get the actual candlestick pattern you need, or to see for you to enter and execute that trade, it's one of the most beautiful things you can do, right? 30-minute, you know in which direction the trend is going.
Yeah.
You find the candlestick pattern on the 30-minute, and if you want to get a more precise entry, you go to the 5 and 1 minute just to make sure it's actually reflecting. I also use the RSI, the relative strength index. I like to make sure it's overbought or oversold within those parameters. If it's oversold, then I know that I can buy it up with the trend, etc., depending on the time I'm in. I also use a 66 moving average. Very precise. I got it from QBanks. It's very, very good. I cannot complain with it. It's one of the best moving averages I have. It's the only thing you ever see on my chart. 66 moving average. If it rejects the moving average, you know to take it up. If it's below it, you know to sell. If it's above it, you know to buy.
Oh, that's interesting. So the 66 moving average.
Yeah, 66.
And you use that, so that would work on the 1 hour, the 30-minute.
Correct. So it works on it works mainly on all of the time frames on US 30. It also works on NASDAQ. You just got to know which one it reacts better. On NASDAQ is on the 15-minute, and then on US 30 would be the 30-minute time frame.
Okay, great. Listen, that is and I know, look, so right near the end, we'll get into how we can sort of find you and things like that. So, thanks for sharing that. 66 moving average. Brett's on fire today. Thanks, Brett. Yeah. So, Brett, from your personal experience, what would be the best advice you can give to another trader, new or experienced? This is a great question.
What's the best advice? It really depends. It's really subjective when it comes to the advice. I think a lot of traders they think that there's like a blueprint to be able to just trade everything. It doesn't work like that. You got to find who you are as a trader and who you are as a person before you can get into this trading journey, right? From my personal experience, I think going through the whole journey, going through the ups and downs and losing the money is very humbling. There's a lot of lessons that you want to learn by watching someone else. You can't learn them until you actually experience them yourself. So the best advice I can give you guys is just stay consistent. Don't give up. Don't stop. Try to become like the slogan that we have for my business is 1% better. Always try to do 1% better. The funny part is why we say that is because we only go for 1% in the day for profits, right? 1% every day, guys, and that works with anything in life. If you do 1%, 1%, 1%, 1%, it'll keep adding up over time. And little like next thing you know, your 1% becomes a 100%. You give it your all. So the best thing that I can tell you guys, stay consistent, keep going, learn the most you can. Try to cancel out all the noise from people that you know that are not gonna give you the best advice, and just try to stick in your own lane. Try to make sure you understand what you're seeing in the markets and apply it. Practice it. You guys have demo, practice. That's why it's there. Don't see the money behind it. That's the thing about it. People like to see the money.
Yeah.
Don't see the money. See the setup. You guys are here to see the setup, not the money. The money comes after. The setup is what you guys want. The quality of the setup.
Yeah, listen, that's amazing advice, because I think there was a guy in our so Simply Forex, I think I've shared with you before. So we are a really just community based. We have the free Discord where, we share things and talk about things, which is really nice. We're not sharing, like you said, P&L and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
We're really into that. And then Tom has a private Discord where you get in and he does share his setups, and as well as I'm in there to support, and if anyone has any questions. So I love what you said there. The other thing I actually have on my wall as I look up, and it is, do your thinking on all occasions. So do your own thinking on all occasions. So even though you're part of a community and someone's taking a trade, like you said, make sure it's your setup, it lines up with what you believe, and don't just be led because you've seen someone post something somewhere. So there's a question I have for you, but look, these guys are rolling in with some other ones. So let's get this in. Hang on. So investing with Ian, what courses did you buy? Thank you.
Okay, so the only course I've actually ever bought was Q Banks's course, which is the Wall Street Academy.
Okay.
That's been the only course to buy right now. The course is a good course. I just believe that you can learn everything you need to know from the course. You can learn the technicals, but when it comes to learning the psychology within a person, that's when it becomes a little more challenging. I can teach you all the technicals. I can teach you all of that. But if you as a person, you're very anxious, or you can't hold for such a long time because you're a scalper, or maybe you're a scalper and you want to hold and you're over leveraging, like those all have to do with psychological things. So the courses that I bought was Q Banks's course. I feel like you guys can buy it, learn it, go through that whole experience as a beginner. I believe for a beginner, you could go through that. Once you become a more experienced trader, you just have to have that experience within the market, or maybe join a group that does live trading, or join a group that has like signals. If you're going to do signals, just look at them to verify your trades as to like a confluency within yourself. Don't take the signals because they're calling it. One of the things I have a good friend of mine called Mario. He's very anonymous. We just say Mario. That's why everyone knows him in every group. I know what he looks like. He lives here in Miami and Kendall, Miami area. And one of the things he ever told me was, when it comes to trading, it's all about focusing on the setup. And if you're going to lose a trade, do not lose because someone told you to take the trade. Lose because you chose to take that trade. Because if someone else took that trade, you can't learn from that, right? You can only learn from when you take your own trade and be like, damn, okay, so this didn't go in my direction because I didn't see this, right? As to if you lost a trade because of someone else, it would have been more like, okay, we lost this trade because he didn't see that, instead of you being like, hey, I was the one that didn't do this,
Yeah. No, I love that. I think, and like yourself, Tom does his live trades, but his signals, I guess.
Yeah.
And it's like, look, it's at your own risk. Make sure it lines up with your philosophy or your trading style or whatever it is that you do to analyze the charts. But I love the advice on not just the infamous.
Yeah.
We have a guy like that too, man. He's called the editor. No one knows who he is. Well,
no
Tom
one knows.
does. And he's just there, and he's in the background doing things.
Man,
so look,
this guy Mario, like he's really good trader, and he'll give you, like, he goes on multiple channels and stuff like that, and just posts his setups. That's it. Wow. And I think that's so beautiful, because you can post a setup, and whoever wants to learn from it will study the setup. They're not going to study his profits. We know how much he makes,
Yeah, no worries. Brett's just thanking you for that, so no worries, Brett. So look, the question I had for you, right, and I'm sure many people will want to know, is 25K in payouts, mate. That's phenomenal, right? And I know it's not about the money, but look, it's a byproduct of your strategy and how you've set yourself up over the years. Is there any piece of advice when it comes specifically to prop firm trading? So, for example, I've seen people say, risk 1%, 1 to 2, 1 to 1. try this when you're doing a prop firm, buy a bunch of prop firm challenges, and then blah blah blah. Is there any bit of advice you can give to anyone when it comes to prop firm trading or the challenges specifically?
I think when it comes to the challenge itself, you guys need to have a very disciplined trading strategy and
Okay.
take, because a lot of the times people will see more than 1% of profits within a single trade, and they won't take the 1%, and they want to take more and more and more. They get greedy. So one of the things I can tell you guys is the following: is stick to a trading plan, stick to the 1%, and you're gonna see that over time you guys will make this money.
Yeah.
The funny thing is a lot of these prop firms make you wait 5 days, even if you passed it within, right? If you guys
Yeah.
think about it, right? Within those 5 days, you make a 1.5% of profit. Those 5 days will literally line you up to passing the challenge, right? So that's kind of like, that's the tricky part, right? Do the math, guys. You guys are not here for overnight success, right? It's as simple as you could trade it for a whole month, make only $500 a day, and I believe $500 a day within the whole month is around 10,000,
Yeah.
and that's a lot. A lot of the times a lot of people don't make that in their jobs, in their 9 to 5 or anything like that. So it's
Yeah.
like, stick to a plan, stick to a rule, and continue with the discipline of the same strategy over and over. Do not change it because you saw, Jose make $700,
Yeah.
or you saw him make, $7,000 within one trade, and now you want to change it because of it. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
not your journey yet. It's not your time to be able to make that much money yet. First, got to start with the baby steps. First, got to learn how to crawl to be able to walk, right?
Yeah.
So it's the same strategy.
So the other question I had is when you're in drawdown, no doubt you've been in drawdown doing a challenge. Do you shift from the risk in the 1%, or so do you cut your risk in half, or do you continue as is?
So when it comes to taking drawdown, it'll either be from 1 to 0.5%.
Right.
I like to risk primarily it should be 0.5%, depending
Okay.
on the lot sizes that I'm using. When it's 0.5%, I like to it's usually a 50 point SL, and that's usually more than enough points. Usually you don't need more than 25, right? So
Okay.
if you're giving yourself a 50-point SL with a nice little one standard lot, which would be $10 per point, you can risk a nice amount and still get your 1%, right? But it's very subjective, right? Because if you see that it's going to reverse on you, maybe your losses are a little too much. I'll go to the 1% and risk a little more, But my max would be the 1%. It's always been a 1%.
Yeah. No. Sounds good. Okay. So if you were to start again, mate, right? So let's just
Yeah.
say 4 years ago, you know where you were and you know where you are, but you're giving yourself from 4 years earlier a bit of advice. What would you, if you could start all over again, what would that look like?
Man, that's tricky, right? Because we're asking that question, have already been going through everything, right? When that question is asked, usually people don't take account of like, okay, you already went through all these things.
Yeah, good
If it was
point.
before, you don't really know it. So the best thing I can tell you, the best thing I can say would be like just stay consistent, keep going. As don't stop, keep going, enjoy the process. If you don't enjoy the process, you're not gonna like what you're doing. If you marry the failure, you're not gonna enjoy the process of trading. You can't focus too much on everything you fail. You got to focus on the winning trades and capitalize on them, right?
Yeah.
So enjoy the process of trading. Enjoy the process of going to where you're going to go. Your destiny, you're destined to become great. You're destined to get to where you want to, and it'll happen. It's going to happen. If you manifest it and you say it, a lot of things will happen. So trust the process and enjoy the ride. That's the best thing I can tell you.
Man, that's brilliant advice. One of the things I've seen with working with some of these traders is, like you said, it's the process. So they don't think of the money. All they're seeing, and I know this is easy to say, right? So I saw there's a guy who was saying, how do I'm trading a bigger account now, blah blah blah, and people are saying, change it to pips and do this and
right.
I think all of those bits of advice definitely good, and I think one of the things that the guys tell me is like, look, they see a process, a strategy, a pattern that they're familiar with. The minute they see that and they get confirmation based on one or two things, they're in. Some of them set and forget, and they're not interested. They walk away,
Right.
and they're confident. Whether it hits their stop loss or TP, they're good to go. And the other thing is they said is there's no emotion. So when they hit, their profit target or stop loss, whereas before it was really difficult to digest that and deal with that. They would probably have be a bit moody with their partners or with family or friends. They said it's literally no emotion because they've got to that point now where it's just like an algorithm. You're just
Right.
trading, right?
Yeah.
Do you feel like you see that now? Is there any emotion if you've had a bad week or a bad trade?
So I think every trader goes through the emotions. I think it's whoever tells you that they don't go through these type of emotions, I think it's a lie.
Yeah.
I just think some people can handle it better than others. I noticed that whenever I get into a funk, I know to kind of take a step back, right, and be like, okay, I'm doing this wrong because I'm shifting my mindset, right? Mindset can overpower a lot of things, but if you understand that if you could go back to doing like things that help you mentally and help you keep that discipline and consistency within your mindset, because it's all a mindset, right?
That's it.
Your mindset is what really matters when it comes to trading and anything in reality. I feel like you got to tell yourself you're doing the same setups over and over and over, right? You're going to risk the same amount and go for the same amount. And you're going to look at your data properly, meaning you're going to understand where your trend is and stuff like that. When you're seeing those things, you have to have 100% confluency within you to be like, okay, this is what's going to happen in the market. It's going to go up. This is what it's going to do, right? So it's like you got to be certain of your trades. Certainty over consistency and confluency is really important to me, right? You got to be certain. If you're not certain about your setups, you're not going to get to where you want to be.
Yeah.
Be certain before you enter anything. That's how you're going to shift your mindset when it comes to trading. You can go on a bad winning streak. You could go from a winning streak, right? I think a lot of people always talk about the losing streaks and they don't realize about the winning, right?
Yeah.
When you're on a winning streak, that's when you have to remain focused, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Because the one thing you're telling yourself while you're on the winning streak is it's gonna come to an end.
Yeah, that's it, mate. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then that's kind of like manifesting for it to stop. Right. It doesn't need to end. Right.
No.
When the market goes bullish, it doesn't need to reverse. It can continue going bullish. Right. It's the same way with your mindset, guys. If you are trading the same plan over and over and you guys see profits, stay focused. Continue with the same momentum. Do not shift your mindset because you want to make more money or because you want to whatever. No, all the excuses out the window. Keep your same discipline. If your trading strategy is 100 points, just take 100 points. Don't try to go for 200. Don't try to go for 300. Take your 100. Leave money on the table. Learn to leave money on the table. Because if you don't leave money on the table, you're going to beat yourself up because of it for no reason.
That's great advice, mate. That is absolutely great advice. So Denny, hi Jordan. How many setups in average do you find a week with your strategy, and can you elaborate on your strategy? I mean, this is probably the secret sauce, right? And we'll talk about how they can connect with you after. But the first part, how many on average, do you get in terms of setups?
So when it comes to setups, it's usually one setup. Within that one setup, I'll take two. Oh, I'm sorry. One setup a day.
Okay.
Let me reiterate it. So one setup a day. It's usually one setup a day, and it's gonna be two trades within that one setup, right? So I'll take like two separate trades, and it'll kind of equal one big lot size, or it'll be a smaller lot size.
Okay.
When it comes to finding my setups, again, I'm a day trader. I'm an intraday day trader, so I find the setup within the day. I try to find my fib levels. So if it's a 61% or if it's a 78 or it's an 88 fib level that I'm at, I'll take my trade. Okay. I look for candlestick patterns. I make sure I'm going with the trend. If I am going against it, I am just scalping, meaning that I know that I can get the scalp, but I'm in and out quick. I am not going to hold it for a longer period of time. I'm not going to hold it for longer than 100 points. That's it. I'm in and out. So I like to go for my 100 points. It's usually a 1 to 2% that I try to make between the trades. Lately, I've been doing 2% per trades or 1.5%. It's usually what I've been averaging right now. I think that's pretty much a good amount of detail in it. On average, I'm taking 2 trades. Yeah, I'm taking 2 trades a day, so that would be a total of 10 trades within the week. But that would be 5 setups ideally. So I set
Okay.
up every day.
Oh, mate, that's amazing. And I think Denny's one of our regulars as well. Just a couple more questions, mate. I know you got to go. So do you? So look, I'm a coach. I work with, like I said, so many different types of people. Apart from traders, lots of different people. So selfishly, I must ask you this:
Right.
do you have a coach, or did you ever have a coach in any capacity, whether it be work or outside of work, trading,
I
anything
love
like that?
I love this. I always love this question. So it's kind of like giving thanks back to people as well in a way.
Yeah, yeah,
But when it came to when it came to having a coach, I never really had a proper coach like that. I had Q Banks, like the courses,
yeah. Of course.
but that's pretty much it. When it actually came to trading, though, like again, my good friend Mario, he taught me a lot. He taught me a lot. We were both on the same mindset when we first started trading. He advanced a lot further than I did. And he became kind of like the godfather for everyone in my group. And like everyone, like again, no one knows what he looks like, but he's kind of like the godfather, and he just comes in and out and stuff like that. Um, that's one of my students. But yeah, so it's kind of it's fun to talk about this. So when it came to having a coach or even a life coach and stuff like that, I never really had one. I kind of had to learn everything by myself, and I learned everything through experience. I
Right.
think that's
Okay.
one of the most valuable things you guys can talk about is learning everything you have going forward through the experiences of anything in life, like just the failures, the mistakes, the success, anything like that. I learned from looking at other people make mistakes. You know, I learned from other people's mistakes and other
Yeah.
people's success. That's what I learned from having my own coach. I can't say I had like a coach there sitting with me when it came to life. It's kind of the same thing. I try to take the initiative being that leader, So I wanted to be the leader. I wanted to be the coach. I wanted to be the
Yeah.
people to
Yeah.
come to. So I couldn't really look up to someone. It's like you look up to. It's like the saying, you look up to your idol, but once you meet your idol, it's the opposite. So it's like I tried not to look up to idols. I
Yeah.
was in certain situations before where I did that and I didn't get the outcome I wanted. So I was kind of like, all right, I'm no longer going to look up to people. I don't have a coach. I don't have none of that. I learned everything by myself just through courses. I would have to say maybe Q Banks.
Yeah, no, it sounds like Q Banks played an integral part in your development, and I like that. I think so. Again, when we have scheduled calls and clients call in, it is more of a Kev. I want to talk to you about this thing that's on my mind. I just want to get it off my chest, or what do you think about this? Or
Yeah,
they just want an outlet outside of their relationships, whether it be
right.
personal or business relationships, where they can just talk about things, and they find that super useful. And then there's different techniques, like you mentioned that, like something like affirmations, like you said about thinking ahead and understanding where you're headed to. We talk about personal standards, which are an
Right.
affirmation with an action. So as you talked about discipline and being consistent, if you have set yourself 4 or 5 personal standards a year, and you literally live by those standards, as you go through the year. So right now I'm doing lots of work with clients around their 2024, and these are not what's the thing? New Year's resolutions. These are not that. These
Right.
are goals they're super pursuing next year with personal standards, and they go after it. So, okay, look, last 2 questions to me, man, and then I want to get into how we can find you and stuff like that. So
Right.
every episode, a guest will leave you a question, and hopefully you have one you can leave for the next guest, right?
All right.
So the last guest was a guy called Stuart Williams, really good property investment property broker. Again, not trading, but more investment, which we do here as well.
Okay.
And his question to you, he didn't know who you were, who was coming on, is do you think you set big enough goals?
That's very vague. Is it for like for myself or for someone else?
Yeah. So for you,
Myself?
like this year, do you
Yeah,
think
I set a
coming to an
really
end?
big goal. I think I set really, really big goals, but not goals that are not achievable. I
Okay.
set goals big enough to be able to be achieved, realistic with myself, but slightly not achievable, just to kind of push myself. So
Yeah.
the goals this year were to make sure I can get around 50,000 in payouts just on prop firms and not having to do my live account. So I started trading at the beginning of the year during my live account,
Okay.
and I made my money and stuff like that. I kind of withdraw it, and then I kind of went into funded accounts. I'd rather trade a prop firm instead of trading your own money into a broker, offshore broker, And imagine they go out of business or whatever, and then you can't take the money out. Some that's been
Yeah, that happened this year,
right? Right. So I kind of stuck with a prop firm because it's a little better. You just pay for an account size, and then you have a good leverage amount. You just gotta respect the rules and then make your money off of it, right? So the goals were to make. I have all my goals written in a little piece of note and a sticky note, and I have it inside my wallet.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, I've got something similar to that.
yeah, so a lot of manifestations and stuff like that. It went from having 10K days to having 10K weeks to having what was it? No, I'm sorry, 10K weeks to having 10K days to then having 40K months to then having 50K months and then ending the year with 100K. So right now, I don't know if we're achieving the 100K by the end of the year in just prop firm accounts, but as of right now, we're getting a quarter. We're already a quarter into it.
That's amazing.
So
That's
we
absolutely
continue.
phenomenal.
We still have a couple more months. There's a lot of other setups that are going to come. We're taking it little by little. It's a little interesting because if you don't count the profits from the actual challenge, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
So it's kind of the same. It's the same mindset when it comes to that. But definitely, that's what the goals are. So definitely, yeah, I do set the goals pretty big. My main thing is just financial stability and making sure that like I could take care of my parents and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I
So
hear you,
I don't
man.
want them to have to worry about having to deal with money. When you realize that, and it's not to be like high and mighty or anything like that, but when you guys realize making $25,000 is very humbling because that could be someone's salary.
Oh man, yeah.
Believe it or not, like someone that's working at Starbucks or even if you have a Hispanic mom that's working in a factory, you know, they're not making that much. So it's like it's a huge deal to make 25,000 in a month or a month and a half. You should be very humbling of yourself if that's where you're making, you know,
Yeah.
like really
No, I
humbling.
love that. No, it sounds like you listen, mate, you've got good goals. And what I love the most about what you said there, anyone could sit here and say, yeah, no, I'm on course to hit this and on course to hit that.
Yeah,
You're saying, look, I'm not quite at the 100K, but I'm happy with where I am, content,
of
and
course.
that's someone's salary. So I think lots of honesty there, and it's brilliant that you're being really authentic with that. Last question from me, man, is like, look, do you have a question that you like to leave for our next guest? I have no idea who this is going to be, man, but
I think for the next guest is it's a little tricky, right? I think the setting the big enough goals, I think that's a good question as well. I feel like one of the questions should be more along the lines of the challenges from the beginning of you becoming a trader to where you are now as a trader.
yeah.
What challenges did you feel really made you peak within your trading or within your investment life?
Okay.
So it would be what's the one thing that really shifted and told you, okay, this is happening. Like I am making it to this point.
Yeah.
You know, that shift.
No, I love it. Okay, cool. I can't write that down. I'll get it after this stream.
Yeah, get it out. I know it's a little kind of like there.
No,
it's
it's
like
good.
more of like what shifts it? Like what was that? Oh, I made it moment.
It's a deep question. I love it. So, okay, look, I've taken enough of your time. You've been absolute star, and mate, honestly, thank you for coming on. Really, this is only the 4th episode, right? So
nice.
We're quite new. Well,
this is fun though, man. This is really really fun. Love the questions just popping in and out like that. Like
the guys love you, man. They've been asking lots of questions. It's certainly been very interactive. So look, okay, this is the part for you to take the floor, and please take as much time as you need. Where can we find you? How can we get into the Discord? Tell us more about Wolves of Profits, I think it's called.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you, man. I appreciate you giving me the platform to be able to do this. So yeah, guys. If you guys want to find me on Instagram, you guys can go to Jordan_DFX, and you guys will be able to find in my bio, you'll be able to see the link to the Discord that I currently have. In our Discord, we like to do live trading in the mornings. We usually do them at 9:30 Eastern time, New York session. Okay. So I just want to kind of verify that. I know a lot of people might be trading in London and stuff like that. We're not there yet. The group isn't there where we have people trading all those sessions, but we do have a good team that we've built. Shout out to Rad and Elvis and Adrian and the whole team, and Christian as well, which is my editor. If you guys want to find me through Discord, you guys can also DM me through Discord personally. The YouTube channel is going to be Wolves of Profits as well. And I believe we also have a TikTok. If you just search up Wolves of Profits, there's a lot of motivational stuff on the TikTok.
Good. I love it.
Sometimes, occasionally, we'll post our little profits on the Discord within like the stuff that we post on TikTok. But yeah, I think TikTok is really cool. I think that's really, really good for motivation and stuff like that. You guys can really read all those things. Yeah, there you go. Brett just put it in there. Thank you, Brett.
Brett's on it, mate. Brett is on it.
Brett's on it now.
Yeah. So I think, Brett, I really appreciate that, mate. Really kind of you. So I think in the description should have your Instagram link. And like you said, we can click into that and that can take you to the Discord.
Yeah, it'll be in the bio.
Right, exactly. And then also you're saying that the YouTube channel is not live yet, right?
It is live. It is live.
Okay.
I could give you the link to the YouTube channel as well. I didn't think through that part yet, but yeah.
That's all right, man. That's cool. No, I appreciate that. So, oh, hang on, before we sign off. There we go.
There you go. Right,
Brett's a good guy. Look at that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Listen, I'm going to give you a follow, so I'll send you a message on that as well. Colin just wanted to say thank you. And look, honestly, man, I know I've taken just under an hour. Thank you so much. If you don't mind just holding up for 1 sec. And is there anything else you want to sort of say goodbye?
So, when it comes to the social media stuff, I think this is kind of good to pop out because it just popped into my head. Guys, watch out with people on social media. Watch out with the scammers. Watch out with the fake gurus. Watch out with all of that, guys. Stay focused. Again, learn the skill set by yourself. Don't try to just do it through the courses. Don't try to go through these gurus that, I'm making this much. No, man. Really do the study. Really do it. You know when a guru is faking it, you know that. You can understand that.
Yeah.
When it comes to Instagram, I have a check mark. If I don't have a check mark on it, do not follow it. I had five fake accounts or whatever made under my name. I have a check mark. I'm verified. That's the only account I have. It is private. You have to follow. I have to accept you. So or I think it might be public, actually. I'm not going to lie. It might be public.
No, but that's good. That's good advice. The amount of people fall for this thing and these guys jump into your bloody Discord and start scamming people and stuff like that.
Man. So it's ridiculous.
It is. But look, man, appreciate your time and everything that you need from Jordan is in the links below. Brett has been kind enough to share some of those. Again, Jordan, you are an absolute star. Thank you so much, guys. Please show Jordan some love here. Go and subscribe to his channel. Follow him on Instagram. Jump into his Discord. Please also don't forget about us. Hit us like if you like this kind of content. Subscribe to Simply Forex. Like I said, we're celebrating 5K, which is absolutely amazing. Join us in our Discord, and we'll see you soon.
All right.